Take down the other seat.
Okay. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Another, at least for us coaches anyway, we're football nerds, another exciting practice. Loved all the situations that we put our guys in and, see how they perform. It's been, and as you guys have seen throughout camp, it's gone back and forth between the offense and the defense, and we put our special teams in some awkward situations as well. We got to make field goals, got to be able to hit punts backed up. It's just fun watching, our players be able to compete in some special situations and how they respond. And then what we tell our guys is, hey, good or bad from those results, we gotta be able to respond the right way. Go back in here and get in the film and learn and grow from the positive results, but more importantly, learn and grow from maybe the not so positive results. And so we had exciting practice, and then tomorrow we'll be offsite at Pop Keeney, get a completely different atmosphere. We're gonna have to play in some hostile environments, some different environments throughout the season, and so this will be another opportunity for our guys to go out there and perform in a foreign environment. One announcement before I take questions: James Smith has had some personal issues that we're trying to him with, and also some family issues. We're here to support him. We're praying for him, but he will not be with us here moving forward. And we wish him the best, and we'll always be here to support him. Questions?
What's the status on Asa Turner and Sawyer Racanelli?
Yeah, we're not going to give any injury updates. That's been a thing. You know that. I don't know why you would waste a question there. I don't give updates on any injuries.
Jimmy, how would you assess how Dylan Morris is playing up to this point in camp?
I go back and look at what he did back in 2020, fighting to become the starting quarterback, and then what he did as a starter for 4 games, and then look where he is at now. He is a better football player. He's making better decisions. He's running the huddle with more confidence. He's more accurate. And so he's a better football player now than he was in 2020. And just like we expect from all of our players, every single day we're constantly trying to grow and develop. And I believe Dylan Morris has done that.
What have you seen from Jacoby Covington? He seems like he's gotten a lot of first-team reps, and today he finished off with the interception. What have you seen him grow in camp?
Yeah, I mean, you guys see it. You guys have been there every single day of practice. A guy that has taken to the coaching. Coach Harris and Coach Brown have done a phenomenal job with him, getting his technique just right, because, you guys see him. He's a long, lengthy, fast athlete. And it's been awesome watching him progress and learn the coverages and learn how to play the ball downfield. And then today it was so awesome for it to culminate in a big red zone drill, and he gets a one-handed interception. He's only got one hand and got the club on the other. I was telling the whole DB room it should count as 2, but that's not my area anymore. But I was stirring the pot a little bit. Jacoby definitely thinks it should be worth 2 interceptions, and I agree with him. It's awesome. He's on track. He's been in position, hasn't made the play a couple of times during training camp, but then he's been in position and made the play like he did today. So very proud of him, and he's definitely going to be in the mix.
When he came in, it seemed like he maybe bounced between corner and safety a little bit. What is it you like about him at corner?
The length. I mean, you guys seen over the years. It's difficult to complete passes out there when you have some long, tall athletes out there that are fast, and Jacoby is that. The cool thing about him, just like we've done with every position, and I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but the more guys can do and be able to bounce back and forth between different positions, the more ways we'll be able to plug them in when injuries happen. And as we all know, this is a violent game and injuries are going to happen. But right now, Jacoby's playing at a high level at corner. But as we move forward through the season, if something happens and he's one of our best players, we got to get him on the field somewhere. He's got that safety experience where we can plug him back there and play safety as well.
Jimmy, I know you can't mention names, but you guys have had a rash of decommitments in the 2022 class. Just what would you attribute that to?
young 16, 17-year-old kids. I attribute to recruiting. This will be a story for every single college football program for the history of recruiting until we can draft them. So I attribute it to young high school kids, and this is what happens. And so nothing's done until signing date of December or February of 2022. And after those two signing dates, that's when the signing classes will be signed, and we'll know who lands where.
You guys have had a reputation around here of avoiding that for the most part. Is there something about this cycle that's different that has made it maybe harder to hold on to those early commitments?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think, this is the challenges of college football. The challenges of recruiting. This isn't the last time you're going to see anybody decommit or commit somewhere. This is the ebb and flow of recruiting that'll go on for the rest of the history of college football as you guys are covering college football. This won't be the last person that decommits from Washington or any other program, and it won't be the last person that commits to the University of Washington or commits to another program. Again, it's all said and done in December and February. That's when we can really write the stories of who signed where. And then, in my opinion, what you really want to look at is how these guys do when they get here. That's really the proof of if you're getting the right guys. Are these guys becoming starters? Are they becoming all-conference players? Are they becoming NFL draft picks? That's the proof of if you're getting the right guys and you're developing them.
You guys have had a couple tough injury things with inside linebackers, and a couple guys leave the program. How do you feel about the depth there at this point?
Yeah, thankfully we have really good depth in inside linebackers. Again, we have some guys that can bounce back and forth, like I've mentioned, I think a week ago. Of course, we would like all of our bodies to be there at full strength, but again, this is football. Someone's going to get hurt tomorrow. I'll make the breaking news right now. Someone's going to get hurt tomorrow, and they're probably not going to play on Friday or Saturday. Someone's going to get hurt Saturday. Someone's going to get hurt on September 4th. Someone's going to get hurt on September 11th. This is football. This is why we have a big roster. We have a bunch of players, and we got to keep developing our guys and have depth. And this is the nature of this game.
Jimmy, your offensive line, it's been pretty consistent with the five guys that you've had there. And MJ only looked like he was entrenched with the ones, but the last couple of days we've seen Julius Bulow there. Today we saw Nate Kleppo. Can you talk about the competition at left guard? Yeah, no, it's a heated battle. We have some excellent depth there at our offensive line, and I'm an equal opportunity employer. Guys that want to go in there, they know the protection, they know who to block in the run game, they play hard, they play physical. Guys are going to get the opportunity to go be the starter. And so the battle is not done. The battle is not done anywhere across our whole football team. But those two guys that you mentioned are going to get a few opportunities, and MJ is going to get his opportunity as well.
Is Bulow making about as big a move as anybody? Because those other guys are vets and they've got traded off before, but he's kind of a new guy to this mix, moving up from second or third team.
Yeah, no, Julius has had a really good camp, and it's been fun watching his physical nature come out. He always obviously has tremendous size, but he's played really physical in this training camp, which has propelled him to get some more reps. I tell our whole team that physical play is always going to get rewarded. Physical play is always going to get rewarded. Offense, defense, special teams. If you show a tough physical side, it is going to get rewarded. We will find a way to put you on the football field.
Jimmy, Coach Donovan said in spring how the special situations really keep everyone on their toes, including the coaches.
And me, yep.
And I was wondering how much of that is spontaneous for you, or how much of it is you kind of not letting the coaches know, but kind of game planning some of those special situations maybe the night before?
Oh, no, we all know. But the beautiful thing about, so let me back up. We set up all these situations. We coach them in our meeting rooms. The coaches are dialed. We're ready to go. We all know it's coming. But as football goes, the flow of the game, you don't know what's going to happen. Is there a penalty? Now, did the clock stop? Do we call a timeout? Do we not call a timeout? There's all these things that happen in real football. And so the cool thing about our situations, the way it happens in practice, the way we set it up, is we got to see what happens. We don't know what's going to happen, just like you don't know what's going to happen in a game. And so now, just like you just mentioned, it keeps us all on our toes. Our players got to know what's going on. The coordinators, myself, I have to know what's going on, when to call a timeout, when not to call a timeout, when to go for it, when not to go for it. So it's awesome. It creates, it makes practice feel like a game. It makes practice feel like a game for our players, for our coaches. It makes practice more fun, makes it more enjoyable. The guys are bought in, they're all in. The energy's there, the competitiveness is there. And the goal is, when we get to real games, that the games are going to be easier than practice.
How would you evaluate the wide receiver play thus far in camp?
Yeah, again, I think that group has took a huge step mentality-wise. They're playing more physical. They're attacking the football. I've shown dozens of clips to our whole team of those guys going up and competing for the ball and making plays in extremely sticky coverage. They've also done an excellent job in the run game and blocking the run support, blocking the safeties, blocking the corners, and be able to spring our running backs. So I'm very, very pleased with our wide receiver core, where they're at to this point. But we still got a lot to go prove come September 4th as well. You know, we got to go out there and we got to go make those plays that they're doing in practice, which they will. If they do it in practice, it usually translates over to the game. So I am very proud of that unit.
Talk about Sam Dewart a little bit. Things seem to be slowing down for him.
Yeah, I mean, Sam is so smart. He works so hard. You just know that he's going to improve every single day, and that's exactly what he's done since day one of spring football till now. He's a better quarterback. He's making better decisions. He looks more comfortable. But just like our whole team, every individual, we're not there yet. We're always trying to grow. We're trying to develop, including myself. Us coaches are trying to get better every day. Players are trying to get better every single day. But Sam is on the right track, and he's definitely looking more confident.
So, fullback is something that not a lot of people are using, but when we talked to Jack yesterday, he said he considers himself a fullback. You talk a little bit about that evolution?
Yeah, I mean, Jack has played fullback for us. He's also played tight end for us. Two very similar positions, obviously. And we've put our tight ends back in fullback positions, which we'll continue doing. You guys seeing that out there. Jack's a very heady, smart football player, and we're able to move him around. He's also split out as a wide receiver at times too. So that's where tight ends are so unique. They can go into the game, and you're thinking, okay, we got to stop the run. He's going to be back in the backfield in front of the running back, but then all of a sudden he's lined up getting ready to release for a pass. And so it causes a lot of difficulty for defenses. What you're going to get. You're going to get a run, you're going to get a pass. One play might be a run, the next play might be a pass, and you got to be able to defend both. And Jack is definitely a dual threat for us. He can hurt a defense in the run game and also in the pass game.
What is a hypothetical, since we're all still dealing with COVID, if you lose a guy right now, is it a 10-day minimum absence?
Yes, I believe it is. It could be more. It could be more. If symptoms still are going on, but I believe 10 as long as there's no symptoms, and he comes back with a negative test. I believe 10 is the shortest time frame. That's the shortest. Yep.
Are there testing differences right now between players who are vaccinated and those who are unvaccinated?
Yeah, so the Pac-12 rule, I think it's all released. You guys saw it. I hope I don't say it wrong up here without my notes, but the Pac-12 rule is all unvaccinated players need to be tested once a week. Vaccinated players do not need to be tested, even if they're a close contact. So only unvaccinated players are tested. That's it.
What do you see from Tua Taylor in camp, it seems like he's about 2 weeks. Tua Taylor, he seems like he's really grown to his own as that third defensive line. Just what have you seen?
Yeah. I know he had a really good offseason. He got stronger. Put some weight on. You could see just he's more confident. He made a huge play in practice about 3 days ago. But now it's awesome watching his progression. He's played some football for us, and he's going to be right there in the thick of it, playing a lot of football for us in that rotation with the defensive line.
The game on the 4th is going to be the first time for you as head coach without having that full Husky home field advantage around you. I mean, it was the easy question here, but how exciting is that after the long year and a half that it's been?
Oh yeah, no, I'm so excited. The greatest setting, obviously we have the Cascade Mountains, the Olympic Mountains, Lake Washington, the beauty, the unique structure of our stadium. But really what makes the greatest setting is our fans and how passionate they are about Husky football and how they're there supporting us, from the first quarter to the end. And I'm excited for them to come out and watch our team. I know our team's excited for them to be in the stands and supporting them. And we want to make them proud. And every single day we go out there with these meetings and practice to prepare to go out there September 4th and give Husky Nation what they want.
We've had a Husky assistant coach pass away yesterday, and a Husky football player died of COVID earlier in the week. Lamar Mitchell was the player. John Pease was the assistant coach. Was at Utah quite a while. Did you know either of them? Did you know these stories?
This is the first I heard of it. John Pease?
John Pease died yesterday in Salt Lake City.
Wow. I did not. This is the first I heard of it.
He was the assistant and
Yep.
Whittingham
Right.
guy.
Yeah. Obviously condolences to both families. I did not know that information. I'm kind of in my little bubble right here of training camp. all I do is football all day long. But of course, condolences to those two families. And our hearts go out to them. But I did not know that.
You wrote Ryan Leaf in to speak to
In pro sports, like with the Mariners, they had a trade with a guy from Houston coming over the next day when they were still playing Houston. Seahawks have brought in a couple guys from the 49ers. I'm sure they brought some intel. Giles Jackson bring any intel about Michigan to you?
Oh, I was like, where are you going with this? I was trying to follow back and forth. No, I mean, I shouldn't. I don't think. We have film on those guys. We have film on them, so that's where we get most of our intel is right there on film. It's interesting. I can say this now. When I remember when I was in Tampa Bay, I won't say who, but we signed in the same division. The New Orleans Saints were in our same division, and so in the offseason, we signed one of their quarterbacks. And then Monty Kiffin, we brought him in. Monty Kiffin was defense coordinator, and we brought him in and was like, all right, we're going to get the scoop on what's going on. And it's amazing how much players don't know. They do not know. We're sitting there going like, hey, so give us this. And we're looking around at each other like, oh my God, this didn't help us at all. Same thing, we played the New York Giants in the playoffs in 2007. We signed one of their offensive linemen. Did the same exact thing, and we got zero out of it. And so you're talking about NFL players there. And so, and I'm not making any mention of any of our players that are here now. We haven't gone that route. The information that we get is from film and from the coordinators, their history of what they're doing. We're going to have plenty of information that's on film for us to take and utilize to put all three phases, ready to win the football game.
You brought Ryan Leaf in to speak to the team. Just talk about reaching out to him, and how did you get him to wear the bow down shirt, and what did that mean to the team as well?
That's good. A good question. I did not have to make him. You guys heard the question there. It was awesome. First, let me say Ryan Leaf gave an inspiring. He shared his inspiring story, tough story, for the people that know it, but also an inspiring story for him to be where he's at now and how he's handled it and how vulnerable he was to our team in sharing his story, which I know would be very difficult for a lot of us to do. And our team, our staff, everybody that was in that room, our coaches, our ops people, recruiting, we all walked to that meeting room with a bunch of notes and a bunch of takeaways that's going to help us in our own lives. And so it was great to have him. How about this? At the very end of it, he gave his phone number out to everybody and said, if you ever need anything, reach out to me. And I mean, you talk about that was a really cool thing to do. I think our guys could connect with him because he was real, and he just shot it straight. To the bow down to the Washington shirt, that was all him. We were there to give it to him. We give gifts to our speakers that we bring in here, and that was all him. He wore it. We'll see if there is a picture out there. We're going to see if it gets released by me or him. We'll see who releases it first, but it's a pretty good one. We may have to wait down maybe closer to November, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. But thank you, Ryan Leaf. Really appreciate it. He was awesome.
You talked last time we talked, or maybe before, but you talked about how pleased you were with the outside linebackers room. And I was just kind of curious how much having Zion around and how much the idea that he's going to be back quicker than maybe thought, as well as Latu being around, how much of those guys really played a part in maybe pushing those guys as opposed to maybe if they hadn't been around?
Yeah, they've done an awesome job of, Coach Malloy, obviously he's the leader of that room, coaches those guys, has pushed those guys to get to the next level. Coach Saha has gotten those guys bigger, faster, stronger, and all that. But it's always nice when any injured guy on our team is able to stay in it mentally by speaking from a player's point of view of what Coach Malloy is trying to teach. And so that is a huge advantage, having Leatu and Zion right there. Being able to say, hey, this is what coach means. This is, you do this, you do this, you do this. And just having that extra voice right there is a bonus. And you'll see a lot of our, guys that are standing there not practicing, have maybe a little ding, a little injury here or there. They're also doing the same thing. They're engaged, watching the play and helping any young guy that they can. And it just, I think, speaks to the culture of our team. We all want to help each other out. We're not out for ourselves. Our guys are all team first, and they want to help the team. And those guys are doing that.
Leatu kind of takes it all over and shows some things. Have you noticed their input and stuff? Can you actually see it on the field going, yeah, I get it. That's his influence, or that's something that maybe that he's done? No,
I wouldn't say that. No, I mean, I think just little things here or there. Just added a little detail here from a player's perspective is always awesome, and then it keeps those injured guys engaged. But it is very cool that you get to see, the culture of our team where they're worried about the team and they want to make sure their teammates are getting better, and they're not just worried about themselves. So it's awesome to watch our guys helping each other.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.